is prepping of the Lord. But this is what he says. I've been asked this by a Christian friend with the supply chain issues and the lawlessness. Is prepping a lack of faith, or does storing food and defense supplies align with God's word? ?
It does align with God's word. And I cannot remember the passage. There's a passage in the book of Proverbs. Let me see if I can find it here.
I can cheat if you know anything what it says.
It basically talks about the wisdom of laying up for the future. Specifically throughout the book of Proverbs, it talks about laying up for winter, getting ready for winter. I believe the day of evil is in the passage also. It talks about laying up for winter and making sure that you store up and that you're prepared and that kind of stuff. But there's another passage specifically, actually, that Chuck Missler used for Y2K, where it talks about if you know that there's a day of evil coming, there is wisdom in storing up for that. And so I would say that prepping is not something that's unbiblical. Obviously, this is what they did in cities when there were armies, marauding armies coming through and going to attack a country. So they would store up food in their cities so that they could endure a siege, when the army surrounded them. And so there's nothing in the Bible that says that you don't do that or you don't prepare for those things. I do want to put my trust in God rather than my year's supply in my garage. It's a year's supply of food in my garage. And so when I look at my own life, I, practically speaking, I've got things that I can use to take care of my family if something goes south. For example, I've got an irrigation well that's literally open. It's kind of open to the air. It's enclosed, but I could dump a bucket down in and get fresh water. And so
Shh, don't give away all your tips.
Yeah, got stuff like that. And I've got a generator. It's from construction and that kind of stuff. And so my wife went prepper last year. And she started she started buying some extra food, rice and beans and that kind of stuff, just in case, because of the whole COVID thing and the fact that there were supply problems and which continue. And so I kind of make fun of her when she's doing that. I just call her prepper and that kind of thing. But yeah, I just I wouldn't go crazy. I would. I want my trust to be in Jesus and not just in my preparations. So,
yeah. So
did you find it?
Prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Proverbs 22:3. So, this has become a cultural thing in the sense of it's gotten popular. Everyone, gets their dry food and bullets and buries them in the ground, all this stuff. So, you look at the Bible, the Exodus, telling Joseph to store up for the years that are coming hard, for the years of plenty, for the years that are coming hard. It's just wisdom to take care of your people. So whatever responsibility you have as a husband, as a father, as a family member, to your friends, if we can see on the horizon that hard times is coming, and I love people, to me it's just a natural thing, is that I want to have stuff in place to be able to help people in times of need. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
The craziness that they get with the TV shows and they building forts and stuff, it's like, there has to be, when that stuff, if people know anything, this is what I'll say. If people know anything about hard times, World War II crazy, all that stuff, you have to be able to adapt at a whim. And that's where it relies on the Lord and God. What's your plan? What do you want me to do? Because you can't plan for those types of events.
Right, yeah, exactly. This is the actually first time in my lifetime that I've ever even considered doing anything like this.
Why is that?
Because all the other, situations that have come up that have been, end of the world type situations, I just thought were nonsense. So Y2K, I was never into Y2K because I know businessmen and, they're not going to, first off, they're not going to be buying their computers in 1998. They're going to be buying them in 1999 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And so there was this whole thing about the computer systems were all going to go down because of this. The other thing is when you're a businessman and you're running something that has computerized switches and that kind of stuff, if it's going to take out your business, you are careful to make sure that doesn't happen. Otherwise, you don't have a business. And if you can't do it right, somebody else will step up and do it. And so the Y2K thing, I never saw any danger in that. And if you don't know what that's about, that's okay, because that was a long time ago. But it was the last one. I had people literally screaming at me because I wasn't telling the people in my church to prepare for Y2K. And so, but we did have some people that did that. And about, Y2K03, year 2003, they were bringing in their 5-gallon barrel, buckets of rice and freeze-dried food and bringing it into church, asking if we could take it and give it to somebody. I didn't really have any need for it then, at that point either. The situation that we've got now, though, is it's completely different.
Yeah.
It's like the whole civil unrest and groups of people driving the country towards civil unrest and that kind of stuff. I think that some of this is prudent, and so.
Yeah, if you have any wisdom at all, supply chain issues, economy, inflation. I mean, all the people that are like, oh, what is all that going to do for you? When the toilet paper shortage hit, I'm free riding, no problems. And they're like, where do I get my toilet paper? And I'm like, you should have had it prepared. You're too late.
Were you one of those people that went down and bought a ton of toilet paper?
Not when it happened. I already have all that stuff stacked up. I'm just sitting in my recliner, selling them for $100 each on eBay.
I have never understood the toilet paper thing. How much toilet paper do you need?
Well, it's just like everything else. I want 3 to 6 months of food, supplies, and hygiene.
How much toilet paper do you use?
3 to 6 months times 5 people, Pastor.
How much did you buy?
We have enough. I would have loaned it out if it got too bad. Okay. I would have loaned it out. Actually, right. I did, I think. Actually, my wife, it already is a plan that's working. There were friends that needed it and couldn't find it, and they're scalping this on eBay, so we were passing it out to some of our friends. So
there you go.
It's practical.
And it's the new currency.
Yes. Oh, that's funny.
I think I'd go out and get some leaves.
Yeah, you old school people would. I'm not paying that for toilet paper. Where's the phone books?